Hi all the students. Today we are going to study a very important protocol, which is the Transmission Control Protocol TCP and TCP IP. So let's start with TCP. So the TCP is a communication standard that enables application programs and computing devices to exchange messages over a network. So ideally it is an ideal protocol which enables to exchange messages over the internet or over the network. So whenever application programs need to exchange messages with each other, they use TCP generally. It is designed to send packets across the internet and ensure the successful delivery of data and messages over the network. So since TCP aims at reliability, hence it ensures that the successful delivery of data and messages takes place over the networks. TCP is one of the basic standards that define the rules of internet. It is one of the most commonly used protocols within digital network the digital network communications, and it ensures end-to-end data delivery. So some of the properties of the TCP is that first of all it is very commonly used, and then it ensures a reliable and end-to-end delivery. TCP organizes data and it can be transmitted between a server and a client. It guarantees the integrity of data which is being communicated over a network. Before it transmits data, TCP establishes a connection between the source and the destination. And this connection establishment we also know is known as the dedicated connection, which is established through a three-way handshaking. So in the TCP basically breaks large amounts of data into smaller pieces, because if we transmit the whole data in its entirety, it can lead to congestion. So a better approach is to break that large amount of data into smaller pieces, which we also call packets. So this is what the TCP does. It breaks large amounts of data into smaller pieces while ensuring data integrity is in its place. So when it breaks the larger messages into smaller pieces, the integrity of the data also has to be ensured. That means the data is in the same sequence in which it was originally before breaking. So after breaking and when it is reassembled at the receiver side, it should be in the same sequence or same form as it was before breaking into pieces. So it not just breaks larger data into smaller pieces, but also ensures the data integrity throughout the process. As a result, high-level protocols that need to transmit data all use TCP protocol. So whatever high-level protocols which want reliability and integrity of data, so all such high-level protocols requiring the reliability and integrity of data use TCP as the underlying protocol for the transmission of data. Now the examples of this include peer-to-peer sharing methods. Peer-to-peer sharing methods like the file transfer protocol, FTP, secure shell SSH and Telnet. These all high-level protocols use TCP as the underlying protocol. It is also used to send and receive email through Internet Message Access Protocol. So not just these high-level protocols, but other protocols like the Internet Message Access Protocol, IMAP, which is used to send and receive emails, uses TCP. Then the Post Office Protocol also uses TCP. The SMTP, that is the Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, also uses TCP. And for various web mechanisms through which the web is accessed, the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which enables us to access the web HTTP also uses the TCP. So all these commonly used protocols like the FTP, the secure shell, the telnet, and the commonly known protocols like the internet message access protocol or the post office protocol, the simple mail transfer protocol, and the hypertext transfer protocol, which is very common to all of us, all these use TCP as the underlying protocol. Now we have studied TCP. So before we study the TCP/IP protocol suite, we must have a look at the internet protocol or IP also. So what is IP? IP is a method for sending data from one device to another across the internet. As the name says, it is an internet protocol, a protocol used on internet to send and receive data from one device to another. Every device has an IP address. By now, you must have all started that every device has its own unique IP address, which is also known as its logical address, and this IP address uniquely identifies it among the other devices in the network and enables it to communicate and exchange data with other devices connected to the internet. So with the help of this IP address, a device can be uniquely identified among all the devices in the network, and then this helps to the devices to send and receive data among each other. Today, it's considered the standard for fast and secure communication directly between mobile devices. Now, today, as you know, even the mobile devices use internet. Internet is not just restricted to wired devices, but the mobile devices also. So today, the mobile devices also consider IP as a standard for fast and secure communication. So IP is responsible for defining how applications and the devices which have these applications exchange packets of data with each other. So this can be thought of as a standard for defining how the devices and the applications inside those devices exchange packets of data with other applications on other devices. So we can say that IP is the principal communications protocol, which is responsible for the formatting, for the rules for exchanging data and messages between computers on a single network, or it may be an internet connected network, that is several networks which are connected together. So now we will see what is TCP/IP. We have seen what is TCP, we have seen what is IP. Now we will look at TCP/IP protocol together, which is also known as the TCP/IP protocol suite. So TCP and IP are separate protocols that we know. So we've studied TCP as a separate protocol, we've studied IP as a separate protocol. And they work together to ensure that data is delivered to its intended destination within a network. IP obtains and defines the address. So with the help of IP, you know the address of that particular device. The IP address of the application or device the data must be sent to, right? So if you want to send data to a particular device, you must know its IP address. How would you send the data to a particular device? What is the mechanism of identifying that this is that particular device to which I want to send the data? That is with the help of IP address. So this IP address is doing this particular role, that it is helping in identifying the device to which data needs to be transmitted. Then the TCP is responsible for transporting and routing data through the network. Now with the help of IP, you have identified that this is the device to which I want to send the data. Now comes the task of routing that data through the network. So TCP comes into role now, that it is responsible for transporting and routing data through the network architecture and ensuring that it gets delivered to the destination application or the device that IP has defined. That means whose IP address has been defined in the list of recipient. Both technologies working together allow communication between devices over long distances, making it possible to transfer data where it needs to go in the most efficient way possible. These two protocols are frequently used together and rely on each other for data to have a destination and safely reach it, which is why the process is regularly referred to as together the TCP/IP. So it is nothing but basically TCP and IP working together, wherein IP helps you to identify that particular destination and TCP helps you reach that destination. So TCP/IP work together, hence they are also commonly known as TCP/IP. The combination of TCP/IP allows users to follow a safe and secure process when they need to move data between two or more devices. TCP/IP uses a three-way handshake to establish a connection between a device and the server, which helps to establish a dedicated connection and ensures the reliability and integrity of data. If you want to know further about the three-way handshake, you can refer to my video, the link of which will be provided in the description.